I hear a lot of people saying the blues, but I'm gonna tell you what the blues is. When you ain't got no money, you got the blues. When you ain't got no money to pay your house, you still got the blues.
Welcome to our podcast, Melbourne Musify. I'm your host, Joe Ambient,
And I'm Ruby Winters.
and this is episode 4 of many episodes to come.
So, Joe, how have you been?
There was moments in my life, I was enjoying my life, very confident and also very challenging.
Yeah, that is definitely understandable. Life is all about learning and growing, and I guess your outlook on it and your approach is what's most important. And then, you can turn those challenges into great strengths, So you've been doing piano lessons, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and how's that been going?
Yeah, it's also, it takes time before it gets better.
Yeah, it's a process, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, process of learning, like a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, other than that, have you been good?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. All right, well, we have, a bunch of different topics in store for our listeners today. And Joe, I think we might start with the first one, which is...
upcoming gigs in Melbourne.
This is going to be good because, always wanting to see what gigs and stuff are coming up for us. So what can you let us know about?
English singer-songwriter, bass guitar and musician who used to join in the Beatles, Paul McCartney, who is coming in Australia to touring for 2 months in October to November.
Wow, really? Paul McCartney?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a pretty big artist, isn't it?
I know. Even the Beatles is a very popular band in the world.
Yeah.
Since they started in the 60s.
Wow, yeah, they were huge, weren't they? I think most people know about the Beatles. Do you have a favourite song by them?
I will say Let It Be, and also right now is Nowhere. There is a song right now of the Beatles which is Nowhere Man and Revolution.
Okay, cool. I'm not familiar with those two, but I definitely know Let It Be, but might have to give the other two a listen later. They sound like, they could be interesting.
Yeah, I love the song Let It Be.
Yeah, it is lovely. Okay, so who else is coming to Melbourne?
American singer-songwriter and piano player Charlie Puth, who is coming in Australia to touring for 2 nights in October 2023 in 12 a.m.
Okay, interesting. So Charlie Puth, who's Charlie Puth?
Do you know the song See You Again, about a celebrity passed away in 2014?
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
It's just about an actor who passed away.
Okay. And who else is coming to Melbourne?
There is 2 bands like
Block Party.
and Interpol.
Oh, Interpol. I know
Yeah.
Interpol. I used to listen to them years ago. Wow, that's really cool.
And also these 2 bands who is coming in Australia to touring and perform in.
Oh, the Sydney Maya Music Bowl.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's on Thursday of the 16th November 2023 at 6 p.m.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Sydney Maya Music Bowl is not a bad location, so that could be pretty relaxed and quite a good show. And who else do we have coming this year?
So many Australian artists who will be touring at the Red Hot Summer Tour, including Jimmy Barnes, The Living End, Casey
Chambers.
Casey Chambers.
Oh, I see Birds of Tokyo up there as well.
And there's Petey Mary.
Oh, Pete Murray, yep.
And then one artist, which is...
Oh, Mahalia Barnes. I'm not sure who that is, but the others, wow. That's a really cool lineup.
These Aussie artists they will be performing at the Red Hot Summer Tour near in Mornington Race Course at 13th January 2024 at 1 p.m. to 8:30 p.m.
Awesome. That we definitely know from experience that's a jam-packed fun day. Yeah. Because we went to the one. It was early this year, right?
Yeah, it was early this year when we see Missy Higgins, Paul Kelly, and so many artists.
Yeah, Bernard Fanning. Yeah, it was a really great, really great day out. And Jimmy Barnes is really cool as well. It's really awesome how many, really talented music artists we have here, especially the older ones as well. So incredibly talented.
Yeah, right. There are, and also I enjoying these experience to go to these concerts.
Yeah, they are a lot of fun. Hey.
Yeah, and also, especially in summer when we went there early this year.
Yeah, that was cool.
and I joined their songs.
Yeah.
And their songs, one of my favorite songs of these Australian artists, it will blow my mind. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like seeing them perform them live is such a different experience to hearing it pre-recorded. It's amazing the amount of talent and focus and dedication that these artists have. It was amazing. Missy Higgins was really incredible live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was really fun.
Yeah, I was nearly front of her.
You were.
Yeah.
You were. I remember.
with my T-shirt of Missy Higgins logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite part. Even her songs.
Yeah, it's really cool. Okay, so we hope that we've inspired any listeners if they are interested in going to a gig between now and the end of the year, that those are some of the gigs that are coming up. Actually, Joe, you know what I saw the other day? The Weeknd is also coming to Melbourne.
Oh, The Weeknd, which is a singer.
Yeah.
The songs like Blinding Lights, even what I heard from that artist 2 years ago.
Yeah, he's incredibly talented. He's sung songs with Ariana Grande.
True.
Yeah. I saw that the other day as well. I can't remember when he's coming, but that's something else, that our listeners can keep an eye out for if they're interested. All right, Joe. Our next topic is
music review.
Wonderful. And what review have you got for us today?
So this time we're gonna play. Actually, this time we gotta talk about a new album from Lewis Capaldi, It's called Broken by Desire to be Heavenly Sent. So this album is very powerful and the same as their songs on this album. I like their songs Forget Me, Wish You the Best, Heavenly kind of State of Mind, The Pretender, Pointless, and Haven't You Ever Been Loved Before.
Oh wow, okay. Very interesting names. Is that so? That album's is it a new album that's come out?
Yeah, it does this year.
Okay, cool.
Louis Capaldi released that album this year.
Awesome.
And by the way, one of my favorite songs from this album is called Wish You the Best. I love a beautiful piano ballad, even hummy vocal by Louis Capaldi, and an interesting behind the lyrics is about, I guess, wishing someone who is there for you, wishing someone who is caring with you, and wishing someone who is the best of everything. And I find a sad music video about a dog who was losing their loved one and passed away. But there is a young man who is taking care and loving with the dog. How amazing is that young man is trying to do the best with the dog, you know?
Yeah, that is nice. You know, kindness and compassion and love really go a long way in this world, and especially towards animals because they are just so precious. So yeah, that's really lovely.
And did you listen to that song and even their music video?
I haven't actually, no. So my preference of music is a little bit different to some of these, so I'm loving that I get to discover and hear and learn about new artists and their new albums and songs and things like that. So you can definitely show me after if you like.
Yeah, and also I remember me and you listened to that album in the car with some of the songs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's that album.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was lovely. Yeah, I do remember. Okay, cool.
And
so what do you rate that album out of 10?
So I love this album and I will give it a 10 out of 10.
Okay, awesome. Very interesting. So if anyone's looking for a new album to listen to, definitely go and have a look at Louis Capaldi's new album called Broken by Desire to be Heavenly Sent.
Correct.
Wonderful. All right, thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Now the next segment is called Artist Highlight. So, Joe, what artist are you shining a spotlight on today?
So, this artist highlight that we gotta talk about, Taylor Swift, is a popular American singer-songwriter.
Oh, Taylor Swift, she is so talented, right?
Yeah, and also she was very popular singer-songwriter in the world.
She is, yeah. You know something interesting? I was at JB Hi-Fi yesterday, and you know how they have their CD section?
Yeah, they're everywhere from Taylor Swift.
Yeah, so in the top 20 chart of, I guess, the top 20 of, what's currently out there, she had like 5 of her albums were in the top 20. Like, that is crazy to me. Like 5 albums in the top 20, like absolutely amazing. And she's touring at the moment as well. She's doing the Eras tour.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And I remember about a couple months ago, I heard that they already touring in Australia, and I heard that some of the fans who may not have a chance to come, and I heard actually, I heard the sad news, as I said, some fans who don't have a chance to come to her concert.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
That's what I heard. It's very sad for
Yeah,
them.
it is. It is. It's very tricky when, a very popular musician comes to Australia and only does a couple of shows because the arenas, they only hold a certain amount of people, so there's only a certain amount of tickets, and some people miss out, unfortunately. It happens, but we can always appreciate their music regardless.
Yeah.
So, really cool.
And by the way, her released 10 studio albums. Is 3 record studio albums, 5 extended plays, and 4 live albums.
Wow, that's so cool. She is so talented.
Yeah, I think I said like 10 original studio albums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. 10. Wow.
Yeah.
And her career, she's not she hasn't been around for 20 years or anything like that. So that's pretty good effort.
Yeah, that makes sense. And also, one of my favorite songs of hers right now is a song called Cling, which is a beautiful and powerful song. The original version is great, and I like the cover version the most. So this song is about Smith's journey of her pain, struggles, and heavy
Metaphors.
And also
I like heavy metaphors of drowning and relationships and stuff, right?
Yeah, that's what exactly the song is about, and also, it's about her journey, her pain, and stuff like that until
until Taylor Swift is finally clean and ready to move on by the end.
Yeah, that's the song is about. That's what I heard, and I also listened to her lyrics of that song. It's very interesting behind that song.
Okay, the meaning of it.
Yeah, very kind of inspirational, but journey.
Okay, interesting.
And also,
so what's your favourite album from Taylor Swift? You're talking about how she had 10 original studio albums, 3 re-recorded studio albums, and 4 live albums. So out of all of those, what's your favourite album?
One of my favourite album is Fearless. And their song from this album are awesome. One of my favourite songs from this album is Love Story. Love Story, I know a lot of people know that song. It used to be a hit song, right?
Is that the one where she's talking about Romeo and Juliet?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a classic Taylor Swift song.
And also, what I like about the song, I like the guitar part, and it's great. The lyrics is amazing.
It is a really great story that she sings in that song. Yeah, it's wonderful. Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing. Do you have any interesting facts about Taylor Swift?
When I heard the interesting facts about Taylor Swift is Swift, who used to write good songs since she was a teenager, and now she is temporarily not writing songs. Even her album Midnight has been released last year, and it's not good as her classic album.
Oh, right. Okay. So she's not really writing songs at the moment. Oh, that would explain her tour, the Eras tour. So she's playing songs that have already been released for people to enjoy, which is still great, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, my hat goes off to her. She's so talented, musician, singer, songwriter. Yeah, just really, really great.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing that, Joe.
And you're welcome. And also, is, you know, is very, it's very motivational to have a conversation about music reviews and stuff like that on this podcast.
Yeah, definitely cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so to, I guess, close off today's episode 4 podcast, the last segment is famous musician quotes.
And here is Michael Bublé's quotes, and he said, record companies worrying more about market share than the developing artists. I hear there was a time when if your first record didn't sell 8 million copies, you were still given a chance to grow as a songwriter. So it sounds like it's a difficult for the artist to succeed their career, kind of. So does that make sense? And I know there's so many artists hard to succeed and things like that, which is very challenging progress.
It is very interesting. Yeah, so recording companies worrying about market share rather than developing the artist. Yeah, I guess exposure regardless is good, but yeah, it is difficult out there, really, you know, to make it as a musician, you know, but it's the experience, it's the journey.
And there are some artists who were independent artists.
Yeah, and sometimes it's better to be independent because then you've got less constraints over what you can put out there, really. Because yeah, like we saw with Taylor Swift, you know, she was under management with Scooter Braun, and then all of this stuff happened where, you know, she was kind of forced to release all of these albums, but then she didn't even own the albums. So like she then took him to court, and I think from memory he won, and she still didn't get the rights to all of the music she'd created. So now she's gone back and re-recorded those songs that she wrote, that she recorded, and now she owns those versions of them, which is cool. But yeah, sometimes it's good to be independent. There are perks for both, I guess.
Yeah, you know, it's not just Taylor Swift. There are so many independent artists out there. You can, I'm sure that you can research, you know, independent artists. You can research like indie artists. You know, there's so many artists out there. You know, even like yeah, even like Taylor Swift, and other artists like that.
Yeah.
Even bands. And yeah, even like from YouTube, when I can research, you know, cover songs and original songs.
Yeah, definitely. There's so many incredibly talented people out there. Yeah. All right, well, this is it from us for today. We have a really awesome podcast lined up for our next session. We're not going to go a little too much into detail now, but yeah, maybe we'll keep it as a surprise. We won't let the listeners know just yet, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for tuning in.
And thank you for listening to our podcast, and I hope that listeners will like our podcast, and we can having a conversation next time on the next episode.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys then. Take care.
You too. Bye everyone.
Bye.